Okay, let's get moving. All right. We'll start with shoulder circles backwards. I feel like I'm always about to hit my fan. Big arm circle and same arms switch sides. And I think you already answered it in the Slack, but name and question of the day, favorite class or favorite course you've ever taken. Go for it, Jess.
I'm Jessica, and I took a class with Dr. Moore called Racing the Age of Obama.
All right.
And it was super interesting. And like the very first class day, this was my freshman year in college, he called 4 people up to it's kind of like a stage type of thing. And it was like a white guy, a black guy, a Mexican girl, and a Chinese girl. And he basically was like, which one of these is the engineer? And then everyone was like, the Asian girl. And they're like, which one of these people is the football player? And everyone was like, the black guy. And he just started making all these racial things. And it was super interesting how everyone had all these biases.
The circles, yeah.
So then he kind of just made everyone shout out what they thought about people just by looking at them. So it was definitely eye-opening and a very interesting first day and first class of my entire college career.
Oh, that was freshman year, class 101.
Excuse me?
That was your freshman year, first class?
Yeah, first class ever.
That's pretty cool to right away I think that's a big part of college. Let's go leg swings, we'll go right leg to left hand. Big part of college is being around a bunch of people you normally would never be around. So that's cool.
Yeah, it was very interesting because he was super straight up about everything. And then I ended up taking another class with him and then studying abroad with him, and he's just a super cool dude.
Cool. Switch legs. Well, Noah, I took a class in 5th grade called the Civil War, which was about the American Civil War. And it was awesome. It was just a great class. And like I said in the thing, we spent most of the time watching this really incredible documentary about it, and then kind of talking about it. So it was very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. We'll get right into the warm-up. Here's how the warm-up's going to go. We're going to start with, we can just kind of do it together. We're going to start with 5 burpees. All right, so go hands down, jump to the bottom, get your feet back under you, jump and clap, try not to hit my fan. 5 burpees. And then after that 5th one, we'll come down to a tabletop position. All right. Bring your right foot out to the side. Try to point this toe forward.
Yeah.
Foot flat on the ground. And we're just going to do what's called a quadruped rockback. We're going to sit back, get a nice big stretch to the side of my leg and forward. So we'll go 10 times on each side. Need to get 10 one side, switch legs, try to keep that foot down. Sometimes we'll go heel down, toe up. But for today, when we do that Cossack squat, we're going to want to make sure that the inside of our leg, what's called your adductor, is nice and stretched out. So we're just going to sit into that stretch right now. All right, after you've done that, we can stay on the ground. We're going to go into a pike position or a downward facing dog. Try to walk yourself as close to your hands as you can. Put your body weight on your hands, right? So it should be about 70% hands, 30% feet. And then we're just going to tap your opposite shoulder. We're going to go 10 times. Try to be as heavy on your hands as you can. Or 10 times of both sides, so 20 times total. Just alternating back and forth, tapping that opposite shoulder. And once you've gotten 10, is that your hands peeling off the floor?
I have an ab mat, yeah.
You can hear each time. Last piece is going to be a 50-foot dumbbell overhead carry. So you can even do that like down your hallway if you got a hallway. Just count like a nice slow 10 seconds out, switch arms, and then a nice slow 10 seconds back. Yeah, there you go. Just getting our shoulders a little warm, a little woken up. All right, and then we're going to go one more round through that. So we're going to start 5 burpees. After that, we'll go the 10 quadruped rockbacks on each side. After we've done that, we're going to go our 20 Pike shoulder taps. Try to be on your hands. Try to really lean your weight onto that contact hand. Take all the weight to do all the work. And then after we've done that, we'll go our 50-foot dumbbell overhead carry. Oh, nice. Taking a tour of the kitchen.
And here we have hot sauce.
There we go. Yeah, it's probably about 50. I bet you it's about 20 foot from your wall to your front door. Is that your front door?
That's my roommate's room.
Oh, okay.
Refrigerator, pantry. That's the front door.
Yeah, very nice. The tour. That's we should do like cribs for everybody's house. All right, cool. So for the strength work today, it's going to be every 2 minutes, and we're going to do 5 total sets. These are some challenging movements, so we're going to have to play around a little bit with kind of loading here. Okay. One of the movements is going to be a Z press, a single arm Z press. For that Z press, you'll grab a dumbbell. You will sit with your legs out in front of you. Bring that dumbbell to your front rack position, and it is a one-armed press. Trying to keep your chest right over your hips here. Big reach at the top. Active shoulder, bicep near your ear. So we'll go 6 on one side. The challenge here is if people grab one dumbbell, making sure that that dumbbell is appropriate. So it's fine if it's less than 6. All right, if we do 4 this week and next week try to do 5, that's fine. If that's not working, we might want to get creative with something else to press, even if that means maybe doing slightly more pressing, right? We could even do it with like a band or something. So we can kind of figure out something for that. The other movement is going to be a Cossack squat, and for this week we will alternate sides. So we could do this body weight, or we could do this with a dumbbell. I think it's easiest if we hold this dumbbell in a goblet position. Feet are a little wider than shoulder width apart, and what we're looking to do is press down on one side. One side ends up in a full squat, I'm trying to keep my foot flat on the other side and stand. And we'll just work back between the two. We'll do 8 total. Okay? So
8 total?
8 total on the Cossack, right? 4 each leg. 6 on the Z press for this week.
How would you do a Z press with a band?
I would take the band. I would actually loop it. Let me see. I got a band somewhere. Oh, they're outside. I would loop it around maybe your dumbbell.
Okay.
Let me go grab a band. All right, sorry. I found my bands and they're all tangled up. So you can take your band and loop it around your dumbbell. Use the dumbbell as the anchor. From there, we can sit next to the band. All right. And you might have to like loop it a couple of times around that dumbbell just to find the right tension. Grab under the band and press up. You probably want a heavier than a 15-pound dumbbell, or you can even kind of sit on top of the dumbbell a little bit. All right, just try to anchor that band. And it might not be any easier.
We'll see.
The band is hard because it gets really hard at the top. The bottom is kind of easy, and then the top gets pretty challenging.
Difficult?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's cool. You could even do this, with like a gallon of water or something like that. A big can of something would probably work. Right? Any of those things would work. It might mean
You froze.
Oh,
Are you back? Okay, you're back.
I'm back.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah,
You were frozen.
I'm back. Yeah, you can do this with anything heavy, like a big gallon of water, or like a big can of something canned.
I'm gonna try to do as many as I can with my weight, and then if not, I'll switch it up.
Okay, sweet. Try like two or so on each side. Try 2 Cossacks on each side, and then we'll get on into it. Oh yeah, that looks good.
It's my left arm that's gonna struggle.
Yeah.
For sure. And then is it every minute you do both movements?
Every minute you do both. So I would say if it's really hard, what we could even do is make it we can switch it up a little for you. I've got an idea. Is that easier?
That's fine. I'm just slipping in. That works.
Okay. So what we could also do it as just is if that gets really hard, we could do every 2 minutes. You could do 6 on one side. You could do 6 Cossacks all on one side. And then rest, and then do the other side. And we'll do 3 rounds through that.
That sounds good.
Yeah? Okay. Cool. Everybody else, we'll have the clock running for their normal every 2 minutes for 5. So Jessica, when the last minute ends, then you'll do your last set basically after the 10-minute ends, and that'll be at the 12-minute mark. And it can take however long it takes. All right, so let's do it that way. Right? Again, we got to be You got to be a little creative here with limited equipment. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go one side Z press, one side Cossack, 6 reps of each. Here we go, starting in 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1,
and
go.
Easy. Not too bad?
That was good.
Okay.
Let's see the other side though.
Yeah, do the other side. If you finish this first round and both seem really easy, maybe add a rep to each.
Okay.
Right, and then each week we'll try to add like 2 reps total.
Sounds good.
And just keep going forward with that. I think we'll probably going forward start doing the like one side for people, because especially as the reps start getting higher into like 8s and 10s and stuff like that, you need more rest. So again, we need to kind of like let our time match what equipment we've got. And as long as we're getting like a solid, like challenging strength stimulus, and especially with the Cossack being able to get into some good positions, we're doing it right. All right, 20 seconds before that next side. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and
Start.
Go. Second side. Yeah, good. A little harder. Good. Think about sitting back to that heel of your left leg. Gonna keep your chest up. Good. All right. Have you tried teaching class? I guess dance is impossible to teach online.
We've been teaching like solos, I guess.
Right.
Like footwork.
Mm-hmm.
But partner work is not going to happen, which is most of what we do.
Right.
I know people teaching partner work, and like if you have a roommate who you will interact with, that's cool. But yeah, it's not the same because we have like lifts and dips and crazy stuff that is very techniqueful, and like you kind of need us there.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there ability? Like I know for us, it's like we're not going to have people doing Olympic lifts, but you can find like something. Is there just a point where it gets to like, like it's too different of a thing?
Yeah, a lot of it is like the social aspect also.
Sure.
But footwork is something we can teach.
That's cool. All right, second side. 2, 1, and go.
Start.
All right.
So yeah, we'll have to see when it starts up again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see when we get like some clarity on that, which I don't know. Maybe that's not anytime soon.
We'll see.
Yep.
That's all I can say.
Yep. Just keep taking it one day at a time.
Yeah. And then like with dancing, you're like literally touching people all the time and you're super close.
Yeah, there's like no way to do it like, even half like safely until it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like even like working out, you don't have to work out with someone. You can be in the same room and not touching them.
Right.
Just a little bit different.
All right, 30 seconds to the next set. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and
Start.
go. Are you seeing, when you see the clock, the numbers are showing up?
Yeah, I think it's whenever you're actual on like camera, I can see them correctly. But I think when you post a video, it might invert it.
Huh.
Yeah.
It gives me the ability to switch them, but I can't figure out which way I should switch them for people. Like I can do this, I think. I'm not going to play around with it because I think it'll pop me off the recording.
I can see it just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now I see myself switch.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, Sam.
What's up, guys?
Not much. What's going on?
I just checked in. I'm just getting warmed up over here, about to do the first movement. I just had a question for you, if you have time, real quick, on the reps for the two moves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like 40. Is there any recommendation like of how to break up the 40, 30, 20, 10?
Oh, you're getting into the Metcon part.
Yeah.
It would be a weight where like you can get.
Start.
That's on the second set. Where you can get like 20 or I would say like 20 or so reps unbroken. So I would maybe, it depends a little on the dumbbell you've got, but maybe that first round you do 2 sets of 20, and the second one you do 15s, and then you try to stay unbroken for the snatches. The step ups you'll just kind of move the whole time. Think about it like a kind of like slow run where you're just kind of like putting one foot in front of the other. I don't think there's any real way to go like super fast on them. Just kind of try to keep your head down and stay moving the whole time.
Cool. All right, perfect. I just wasn't sure if there was like a recommendation of how you set it up. And do you do like 40, 30, 20, 10 snatches and then move to the boxes, or is it 40, 40, 30, 30? What's the
40, 30, 30, 30.
Cool. All right, perfect.
All right, bud. Have fun.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man.
No problem.
See you.
Later.
Bye.
I like that Sam pops in with his daily like question.
I popped in yesterday when Robin was coaching.
Yeah.
And Cassia was out for a run.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as she came back in, I was like, go, Cassia, go. And then I left.
Yeah, that's
Because
nice.
I was like, 1 squat, 2 squats, 3 squats. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get really annoying.
Yeah, that wasn't for as far as like spectators are concerned. Not a whole lot to watch. It's like, yeah, you do that air squat. Go, yep, you got it.
You got 49 more.
Yeah, keep going. Go. Oh, all right, there we go. Yeah, but that's cool. It's been fun having people kind of like pop in, pop out, say hi.
Yeah, since that one's more running and I live on the 3rd floor
Right.
and I don't have internet outside with my laptop, so I was like, I'm gonna do it on my own time.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one just to go out and do.
Finished. That's a wrap.
All right, last side. Okay, see if you can fight a little lower on that left side. Sit back, find your heel. There you go. Cool. All right, how'd that feel?
I thought it was gonna be harder. I mean, it was hard, but I could do 6, so I was happy.
Okay, nice. Yeah, next week we'll see if you can do it. We'll try to jump to 8 on each side.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it'll be nice to build. If people build all this strength in these like kind of weird positions, I think it'll be really interesting when we get back in the gym and see how like the more normal CrossFit stuff goes. Because I think people will be as stronger than they think, and also probably feel a lot better. You know, I hope this is the time where everybody's little like, oh, you know, my shoulder sometimes bothers me, or this or that. Like we can kind of get through all that stuff and work it out.
For sure.
Yeah, it'd be nice. All right, cool. So let's get into the Metcon portion of today. Like we said with Sam, it's 40, 30, 20, 10 dumbbell snatches and alternating box step-ups. The dumbbell snatches are alternating as well. So that means 40 snatches, 40 step-ups, 30 and 30, 20 and 20, 10 and 10. For the dumbbell snatch, we want to use a weight where we can, I would say there will be people who could probably stay unbroken the whole workout. I think for some people it will be, breaking a couple of the sets into sets of, 2s. But especially when you get to the 20 part, 70% of the workout is the first 2 sets. So once you get to the 20s, you are already in the home stretch, trying to be unbroken from there. The dumbbell snatches do sets that, you can stay consistent with. With these step-ups, you should probably be able to just kind of get moving and stay moving, even if it's not super fast. For that dumbbell snatch, what we're looking for, we'll grab a dumbbell. It can be either parallel or perpendicular to our feet. Just trying to figure out where my fan is. I'm going to hinge at my hips. I'm going to come into a good square position to grab that dumbbell. In one motion, I will stand, high jump, high pull, and punch under that dumbbell and stand. We can switch in front of our face if we want, kind of throw that dumbbell from one hand to the other, tap the ground, and do my next side. Or if we want, we can put the dumbbell all the way back down, get set, and then hit my other side. All right, so let's go to warm it up. Grab your dumbbell. First, let's go 4 dumbbell deadlifts on each side. So big focus here is square with my hips, square with my shoulders as I come down to that dumbbell, and just stand up, hinge your hips, back down to stand 4 times, 4 on each, or 4 total, 2 on each side. All right. After we've done that, we'll go 4, 2 on each side, high pull. So we will stand, jump, and just pluck that dumbbell up. Goal is to get my elbow pointing straight up in the air and just let that dumbbell float for a second. 4 total. All right. And then after we've done that, all we need to do is turn that elbow over and punch. It is a little bit of player's choice whether you like to punch and drop or whether you like to just punch and aggressively sort of continue standing up, right? The kind of what we would call a power snatch or a muscle snatch. So we can punch and stand, or we can just focus on actively pressing as we stand up. Let's go 4 dumbbell snatches, total 2 on each side. There we go. Jess goes with. I also like that version, the muscle version.
Maybe towards the end it'll change.
I feel more unstable when I drop under it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it's a whole lot of help. I just feel like I get kind of like a little shaky. Whereas if I just really focus on standing up, keeping everything tight and punching hard, it feels a lot more sort of balanced and stable. For the box step up, this might be challenging. We want to find something that we can step to that is going to get my hip below my knee. Whoa. Did you try that before?
No, I mean, I tried it earlier, but like, I hope it lasts.
Okay, that looks pretty stable. You can carry the dumbbell however you want when you do that step up. All right, I'm going to do it over to this little ledge I've got behind me.
Nice.
Can you see me here?
Yeah.
So if you want, you can carry it suitcase style. If you want, you can carry it goblet style. I think what most people end up doing is getting it over a shoulder. Seems to work pretty well. It's going to alternate feet, so I'll step up one leg, step back down totally, and then switch feet on the way up, and just keep switching feet each time. You can switch where you're carrying that dumbbell whenever you want.
If this breaks, it'll be a great video.
Yeah, why don't you, I would say maybe put it like against something, just so it doesn't like slide. Like if you put it against your couch, something like that.
So that'll work.
Is that better or weirder?
It's fine.
Okay.
It works.
All right. I would say step up only at the pace to which you feel confident on that box. I wrote it in the notes. Don't do anything, please. For the sake of our healthcare workers, don't do anything that lands you in the emergency room. I mean, I care about you too, but especially right now, no ER trips, people. All right, let me get the clock set up. Okay, Jess, you ready to rock?
Yeah, I'll put my music on.
Cool. Starting in 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1,
And
go.
go. Very nice, Jess. Cruising. There you go. First minute down.
To get an extra one. Whew.
Oh, God. There you go, Jess. Control that pace. Just stay steadily moving. Doesn't have to be super fast. Good. Make sure it's balanced on that thing. There you go. Nice. Yeah, it looks like your foot pulls it back a little each time when you step off, but looks pretty good.
My floor is just slippery.
I can't hear you. You got it. There we go. All right, into the 30s. There you go. Couple breaths. Finish it off. See if you can't get your breathing back kind of level and under control while you're doing those step-ups. Nice. There you go. Safety first. There you go. Very smooth. Very nice. There you go, 70% of the way there, Jess. The last little bit to finish off.
Super.
There it is. Almost there. Just over 8 minutes in.
I love you.
Yeah. There we go. Look at those 10s. Here we go, 3 more on each side.
Nice.
All right, 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Very nice. How'd it go?
My floor is very slippery
Yeah,
compared to the gym floor, so that was hard.
good point. Tell people to put down like a mat or something. You can see it. It looked pretty stable.
It's just small.
Yeah,
So when I started getting tired on some of them, I was like, whoa, I can fall off.
yeah, you had to be like pretty precise.
Stable it is, but small it also is.
That's good. All right, let's do a little cool down real quick. All right, we'll start tabletop position. And from here, we'll just slide our hands here. Let me switch this. Slide our hands out, keep your hips above your knees, and just drop your head and chest down on the ground. And stretch through your thoracic spine. And walk yourself back so now you're sitting to your hips. And now we'll walk one hand all the way over to the side. Giving it a big stretch. down our side body. So reach with your right arm over to your left side and then try to sit back with your right hip. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Move that left arm over to your right and sit back. We'll come back to that tabletop. We'll bring one leg long. Then you're going to bring it back behind your other leg. And then you're just going to shift your hips back so you're sitting, and you should feel like your femur wants to pop out of your back pocket, like you're pushing your knee and your shin into the ground, and you're getting that in the back of your hip there, and you can scour a little bit, just move up and down, create a deeper connection of that long bone in your leg and the joint and capsule in your hip. And switch sides back to that tabletop. Right leg long, switch it over that left, and then same thing, sit into that hip.